Yo, what's good YouTube? It is your boy Big Tit Joe coming at you guys today with episode 1 of a new series on the channel. It is NHL 22 franchise mode. So we will have another series to coexist with the New York Jets franchise mode. And this will be a franchise mode on NHL. And you can tell in the title what team it's going to be. It is the Philadelphia Flyers. And there's a reason why I'm picking the Flyers. And here's why. Right now in real life, we all know they are struggling. They did have a point streak before they just lost to the Kings. However, they do not look good. There is no glimpse of promise or anything that shows the future of this team can go out and win a cup. Flyers fans have been, I can't even describe words on how Flyers fans have been put through with this shitty organization. Not as bad as the Leafs, but it's up there. They are up top 3 most suffering fan base in hockey. It is abysmal. We haven't won a cup in 46 years? 46 years? It is insane. It's almost hitting 50. It's probably going to hit 50 very soon because we suck ass. So, if you can't tell when I said we, I'm a Flyers fan. There's another reason why I want to do this. I'm tired of seeing shitty product on the ice. 1 year making, 1 year missing. Can we just do something for once and be good consistently, please? So, obviously, we're putting in the GM name, and he's going to be a multi-sport GM and coach. Jim Horsecock is going to be the GM of the Philadelphia Flyers. And, yeah, I mean, he'll do better than goddamn Chuck Fleck. You shitting me. We can't. Hold on. Let me try this. He spelled his name differently here. Come on. Let me. Good enough. Does its job. And so we're also using the custom roster since they are doing roster sharing. We are doing Jay Fresh's. Shout out to him on Twitter at JFresh. We're using his roster. So it is on Xbox One, but he didn't make it for Xbox Series S and X. But thankfully, someone did implement it and drop it into the roster sharing thing. So we do have the JFresh roster, and I think it's probably the best one. Because Tugi's, his is like, way too many people have X factors, and some of their overalls are a little interesting. I understand why, but they're interesting, to say the least. And as you can tell, the team's at 83 overall. That makes sense. But some of these teams, I will say, they should be a bit higher, like the Rangers, how good they've been playing this year. I would say they should be higher. But GM firing, we're going to turn off. Head coach, edit lines, we're going to do ourselves. Final war, no. Auto owner, yup. And, yeah. And then we're going to make a couple of rule changes here because I think this will improve the franchise a little bit. Season overtime loss. No points if you get an overtime loss. If you lose, you lose. Shootout or not, you're not getting any points. So if you win, you 2 points. Don't win, you get nothing. And we're going to do one other change here. That is, oh shit, wrong one. It's right here. I don't know where it is. I think it's in this one. CP, it's trades. Trade difficulty. Hard. Make it hard. Now, another thing we are going to do is we're going to do it similar to the Jets franchise. We're going to sim most part though. And this is going to be a little different obviously because we're not going to watch all 82 games, especially the first year. Hell no, we're not watching all 82 games. What we're going to do is we're going to sim majority of the first season. We might watch a game or two at the end of the year to really get a gist of how the team's playing like we did with the Jets. We'll probably do that. But for the most part, we're simming this year because we're more likely going to rebuild. And if you can't tell by the title, we're rebuilding. This team needs a rebuild. It needs a fountain of youth they have good youth, but they're not really developing. And a lot of the core is aging. It's a bit weird. You can see here in a moment with all the developments and everything else with their potential. It's interesting. Obviously, the best Giroux, his best days are coming to an end soon. Couturier our best player. I'd say he's our best player. I would say, yeah, Couturier is our best player. But let's look at right here. Cam York is our best prospect right here. Medium top 4 defenseman, 77 overall. We're going to let him play in the AHL. Bobby Brink, 74 overall, top 6. We're going to definitely use him. That's for damn sure because he has a lethal shot in real life. Hopefully that can translate over here. Tyson Forrester, top 6. Then Morgan Frost, he's going to probably be playing very soon. But other than that, there's a lot of shit we need to do with this team. We need prospects, we need youth, but then also we need cap space. Like, look at the cap space right here. Drew's contract's up. What are we going to do with Drew? We can trade him possibly. It's a very possible option. Kevin Hayes, $7 million for 5 years. JVR, $6.8 million for 2 years. Provorov has $6.6 for 4. Ryan Ellis, who doesn't even play in real life. He's literally non-existent. He's played a couple of games. He's barely done anything. It's like a Bigfoot sighting if you see him on the ice playing. You're lucky if he plays. $6.1 million per 6 years. I hated the trade when we first did it. It made no sense. And it's proven me right. Obviously it made sense, but it just hasn't worked so far. He's barely played, and I don't think he's going to really... Yeah, he's had an impact when he played, but he's 30. We have his contract for 6 years. I don't think it's going to work out. Cam Atkinson, 5.7 for 4 years. Konechny, 5.4 for 4 years. That's actually a really good contract. Ristolainen at 5.3 for a year. Thankfully, it's only for 1 year. So, I probably don't expect to keep him either. Sanheim, very good contract. 4.5 for 2 years. Then Couturier, who just got his extension. And really, yeah, it will go up to 7.7 next season. So, it's an interesting spot. And obviously, the franchise goaltender, Carter Hart, 3.8 for the next 3. He's a very, very, very crucial part of this franchise. We need to build around him and make him build him a team that's going to support him. That is the massive, massive, massive goal. But the team's a bit older. It needs a youth. So let's go to the draft class. And obviously, in real life, this draft is loaded. You got Shane Wright, Matthew Savoy, Petri. I think this is a EA created guy. Then got Ivan Marashenko. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but he's looking very good in real life. Then you got Slavkovsky, Logan Cooley, Connor Geeky, Brad Lambier, who's looked very good. So there's going to be good players in this upcoming draft. It's very deep. A very, 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 very deep draft class. And so this is the year. That's what I've been saying for the Flyers in real life. This is the year to tank. They haven't had a proper rebuild in decades. They need a proper rebuild. If they want to be able to compete for Stanley Cups down the line, you have to sacrifice right now. Because these next 2 drafts, they have superstar level players in these drafts. 2023, Bedard and Machikov. They are going to be superstars. Bedard is going to be an absolute weapon. And this team needs those type of players. Who is the best goal scorer on the Flyers? Giroux? Farabee? They're not pure goal scorers. They don't have goal scorers. That is a massive problem with this team. They don't have goal scorers. You can argue Farabee's the best one. He has 30 goals in his last 80 games. It is very, very, very arguable that Farabee is the best goal scorer, and that's not very good in my opinion. You need someone that's going to be able to score, and that's got to get fixed if we're going to win. So that's obviously a goal of mine. We're going to get goal scorers. We need them. We need goal scorers. Obviously, in real life, Tyson Forrester should help with that, and Bobby Brink should help with that. So here are the current lines for the team. You can tell they are looking very, very, very strong chemistry-wise. You got Giroux, Couturier, Konechny, +5 on that first line. Only if that was the case in real life, but just look at the depth. Lawton's in it just falls off. It's not good. Like, JVR is an 82, Hayes is an 81, Atkinson's an 82, Konechny's an 83. He hasn't been the same since before COVID. He has not been the same player. Obey Kubel, he's a 77. Scott Lawton, an 80. Farabee, 81. But he has potential, so at least that makes up for it. Then you got Lindblom, Thompson, and Zach McEwen, you know. And then defensively, horrible. You got Captain Keith, who's aging, and the only reason why he's still playing in real life is so that he can get that record. But once he breaks that record, he's probably going to get benched. And then you got... Alright, there we go. At least they got a +5 there. A Provorov and Ellis. How should be the... But in real life, I will give Sanheim this. I'm probably going to put Sanheim first line because he's the better player. Sanheim's been the best defender for the Flyers in real life. Provorov needs a very veteran, good presence next to him to really be anything good. So you can't rely on him. That's another problem with this team is we don't have a reliable number one defenseman. Provorov's a good top 4, but he can't be that number one defenseman that all the contenders have. He can't be that. Look at all the contenders and look at who their number one... They all have number one defensemen. Tampa Bay, Victor Hedman. Vegas, Alex Pietrangelo and Shea Theodore. What we got? Colorado, they have Cale Makar. It's like all these teams have number one defenders that go on to win Stanley Cups. Let's look at the Penguins when they had a dynasty. They had Chris Letang. He was a number one defenseman for that team. When the Capitals won, they had John Carlson. They still have him, but it's just a sign they need a number one defenseman. Provorov is not going to be that. Unless you have a very good depth defenseman, then like very strong defensive core, that I guess helps, but you still need a number one defenseman. Provorov ain't going to be that. I don't know if Sanheim's going to be like that. So you really need that number one defenseman. And then you need goal scoring. This team really needs everything. It needs a fountain of youth is the main thing. It needs a fountain of youth and a different core because this core has been intact for years. It has to change. Otherwise, they're not going to win shit. They have to change the core, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to change this core. And what's one thing I'm going to look at? Now, this all depends on how we do this season. If we really suck, I'm thinking we're trading Giroux just to get assets out of him before he leaves in free agency. JVR, I don't think we're going to be able to trade him. Ryan Ellis could be a potential trade piece. Because, let's be real, in a couple years, he's going to regress. I don't know if he's a great piece to keep around long term, which is what we're trying to do. Build for the long term, not short term. So that is really the main goal of this team. Alright, now we're going to look at the upcoming expiring contracts. And obviously, I pointed out earlier, Giroux is the main one now that in real life they re-signed Couturier. That Giroux is the now best guy that's leaving for the Flyers that is an expiring contract. And now we go to offer contract extension. He has a $7.9 million extension he wants. And you look at cap space. We only have $8.4 million for next year. Another problem with this team that Chuck Fletcher and Ron Hextall, both combined, created with signing Hayes, Van Riemsdyk, and everyone else. They created this problem. It's insane that we're so much in tight cap hell because we decided to go and give JVR a $7 million contract for five years, and then we gave Hayes a 7x7. Like, it just, don't get me wrong, I really like Kevin Hayes, but is he really worth 7x7? I even question it then. I like Hayes, he's a good player, but 7x7 for the future? I don't know about that one. But we are going to look to make a trade here, and that is going to be with JVR. The approach that we are going to have for this season is a full-blown rebuild. Get out the goddamn tank. We want to be able to get Shane Wright, Lambier, whoever. We need to rebuild and get a superstar young player or just a great young player. We need something. So let's look at our offers here. We got Arizona. We only have 4 offers. Okay. Arizona has giving us a 2023 6th rounder and a 2022 6th rounder. And the Sabres are giving us a 5th and a 7th for 2023. And then same thing with Senators. And then they're also giving us another offer with Holden and a 7th round pick from Nashville. This one intrigues me. Let's see. 79 overall, 34 years of age. I'd rather take the picks. But where do I trade him? Arizona or Buffalo? I'm just going to trade him to Buffalo. Might as well. So we are going to trade JVR here to start off things. Just let's get him out. So we're going to ship his ass off to Buffalo for their 5th and 7th round picks for 2023. Alright, we got 2. Now we're going to bring someone up, and that's obviously going to be Morgan Frost. And should we bring up Wade Allison? We'll bring up Wade Allison. Let's get a lot of young players playing. Let's do this. And then Willman could go down. Bring up a lot of these young kids. We'll keep York in the AHL. I don't want to rush him because he's a depth defenseman. He's not really ready yet. We're going to keep him in the minors. But we just called up Allison and Frost. Stu, head coach, preferred lines. Put Hayes here, Farabee. See, this top line is always going to get a +5, which is, I guess, good. We'll do him here. I guess this works. Who would they scratch? Obey Cubell. I'd rather have Cubell playing than Nate Thompson. Like, what? Alright, put Cubell in. 4th line. We'll do this. Lindblom, Frost, Allison, and then 2nd line, Farabee, Hayes, Konechny. 1st line, Giroux, Couturier, Atkinson. Defensively, we're not going to be strong. So, obviously, we're going to be very, very weak on the blue line. Expected. They're not good in real life. Hart is an 83, but he's going to have to carry. Obviously, this year, if we're going to be any good. But personally, I really don't want to be any good. But if we are, we are. If we're not, we're not. So, I don't really. This team is a very, very interesting team. That's all I gotta say. They're very interesting. I don't know who to necessarily build around. Well, obviously Couturier and Hart, but then you need other players. That's what's gonna make this exciting. We don't know what's really gonna happen, and it's gonna be quite interesting for sure. All right, AHL wise, we're going to what a number. Tyson Forster, 69. He's my favorite player right now. Hopefully he gets in the NHL pronto. Here's what we're going to do. We're probably going to give him a good amount of ice time. We're going to put him 1st line. Bunneman, get the hell out. Jackson, Cates, you're going to play 1st line center. Ratcliffe, can you do anything? No? Okay. Rubsoff, put him there. Boom. Defensively, you got you. All right, they're looking good defensively. Zamula, Sam Oren, Clendenning, Wyatt Willie. Alright, I like it. So here's the lines that we're going to have for next season. I already said this, but didn't make any changes. Looked over it again. Yeah, power play. Let's look at power play. Or +5 on power play. Ooh, okay. -2 on the 2nd line power play. Yikes. Alright, let's mess with this. Okay. So what we got? Konechny. Ooh. Put his ass over here. Alright. We'll put Frost instead of Lindblom. Maybe that does something. Maybe. No. Put Proby there. What about if we did Sanheim? Would that help? Nope. Alright, there's going to be... Oh, there's 2 defensemen. I didn't even realize. Put Captain Keith maybe back here. Maybe that helps. That helps. Alright, we'll put Captain Keith Yandel back there. And penalty kill. Alright, penalty kill's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to make any adjustments to it. It's fine. I wonder who are free agents available. I've never looked at this. I've done many NHL franchises. I've never looked to see who's available in free agency at the start. Never. Well, I'm going to now. Eric Stahl's here. No, he retired in real life, so I'm not going to do that. I was thinking about he's from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is right outside Philly. I was thinking about bringing him in. No. Patrick Marleau. Nah, we won't bring any of these guys in. Nah. I was thinking about bringing in Bobby Ryan. We're not going to do that. No. So let's sim to the regular season. Whatever. Owner expectations. Auto assign promotion nights. Alright. I think we're playing Vancouver, because if this goes on, I think it goes off real life. Yeah, we play Vancouver first. That's right. Because last year was all messed up. I just had to remember. All right, let's look at this coaching staff here. We got A- head coach. What's his name? His name is Evan Skinner. 56% team fit. Okay. What is his? Okay. Offensive pressure, he's aggressive. 3-on-3, he's aggressive. Forecheck, he's weak side. And forecheck bias, forecheck. Okay. All right. Here's what I'm looking for. Forward one line, behind net, carry, cycle, overload, crash the net, behind the net. All right. Defensively, okay. All right. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this team's gonna play. And then AHL coach B-. Ooh, we have actually a pretty good AHL assistant coach. Yeah, okay. Alright. So there really is nothing else for me to really go look through and over, trying to make moves before the next video, which will be we'll probably sim up to the trade deadline and do the trade deadline, and then after that we'll figure it out. I think that's what, the second episode's just gonna be the trade deadline. Well, simming up to the trade deadline. We're not gonna play any games unless we do. We might not. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out when that time comes. So anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and I will see you in for the next one.